Welcome to page 15 of Excel packet number 3. Let's take a look at how to solve equations. These equations that we're going to look at are going to contain the distributive property. Not only are we going to solve these equations, but we're also going to check our answers. But let's take a look for a moment at how you solve an equation that contains the distributive property. There are two ways, really. At the top of your page, let's take a look at how we can solve an equation that contains the distributive property. There are two ways to go about this. We're going to be looking at the equation 2 times the quantity x plus 4 equals 18. Let's take a look at our first technique. So on your page, write this down. On the left side of your paper, write this equation down and drop a dotted line. You have a choice. You can distribute the 2 to each term. Well, if I do that, I get 2x plus 8 equals 18. Now that the parentheses are gone, I simply have a two-step equation, and I would subtract 8 from both sides. Getting 2x equals 10, and then divide both sides by 2, and I get my final answer, x equals 5. So the first technique that we could use for solving a problem with the distributive property is to actually distribute the value in front of the parentheses. But let's take a look at a second technique. On the right side of your paper, write the equation again and drop a dotted line. Let's take a look at a second technique for solving this equation. We know that 2 times this quantity equals 18. The 2 is a factor and the quantity is the factor. So what we can do is, in order to eliminate the 2, we could divide both sides by 2. The golden rule of algebra, what you do to one side, you must do to the other. Well, we're left with the quantity x plus 4 equals 18 divided by 2 gives us 9. And then we simply take 4 away from both sides and zero out that term. We get x equals 5. So whether you distribute or whether you use our second technique and divide both sides by 2, you get the answer x equals 5, no matter what. Both techniques will always work. Let's use the second technique to solve the equations we've been given on page 15. Drop a dotted line down each equal sign in each equation. Now let's begin. We can see that 4 is one of the factors multiplied against the second factor, y plus 3 gives you 48. What we can do is divide both sides by 4 to eliminate the factor of 4. We get simply y plus 3 on the left side, and 48 divided by 4 is 12. Now it's just one step to solve. Take 3 away from both sides and we get y equals 9. That's our answer, and we're going to test that answer or check that answer in the original equation. Now take the original equation you were given and jot it down in the area where we're going to check our answer. 4 times the quantity y plus 3 equals 48. When we check, we drop a solid line. Now, substitute a 9 in for y. Rewrite it. 4 times the quantity 9 plus 3 equals 48. Let's work on the left side. Parentheses first. 9 plus 3 makes 12, so it becomes 4 times 12. And 4 times 12 is 48. On the other side, we also have 48. Since the answers equal one another, it checks. So yes, 9 is the correct value for y. Let's try another one. Let's take a look at number 2. Here we have 3 times the quantity a minus 6 equals 12. One of our factors is 3, and our other factor is the quantity a minus 6. Well, let's eliminate the 3 by dividing both sides by 3. We're left with a minus 6 equals 12 divided by 3 is 4. And now we're going to add 6 to both sides. And a equals 10. It's up to us to check our answer now. So let's go over to the check area. Let's write down the equation we were originally given. 3 times the quantity a minus 6 equals 12. Let's put the number 10 in for the letter A. But before you do that, drop a solid line. 3 times 10 minus 6, does it equal 12? Well, start your work in your parentheses. Follow the rules of PEMDAS. 10 minus 6 gives us a value of 4, and 3 times 4 makes our left side worth 12, and our right side is already 12. So yes, it does check out. The correct answer is indeed A equals 10. Try the last one on your own. Pause the video, and when you're ready, turn the video back on and check your work. Pause your video now. When you solve the equation, you should have gotten the answer x equals 4. When you check your work, you drop a solid line down the equal sign, and you should have gotten 34 equals 34. Yes, it checks out. The correct answer is indeed x equals 4. This concludes the video for page 15.